So, how much do pro triathletes train? What do they eat? And what kind of gear do they use? Those are some of the questions I'm talking here. I've always wanted to answer those questions, and I think now I've got the perfect opportunity to do that. Because I'm here at the Ironman World Championships in Kona. Most of the top triathletes gather here every year to compete. So I'm just gonna ask them. Do you know the average volume for your training week?
Running probably about 90 kilometers, like a normal training week. Cycling maybe 500k. Swimming 18 to 22, maybe something like that.
Now that I'm older, 42 years of age, my volume is definitely lower. Now I'll be 25 to 30 hours a week, whereas back in the day, it'd be 40-hour weeks.
40-hour weeks. Oh my god, that's a lot of weeks. Hours.
Like I'll average between like 25 hours and like 32 hours.
How many sessions do you do on average?
On average, like I'll aim for like 5 swims, 5 bikes, 5 runs.
Yeah.
26, 28 is the average, and then some is under, some is over.
25 to 30 hours.
Do you know how many sessions you do in each sport?
I have 2 days of running, 1 day of swimming, and I pretty much bike every day.
Okay. 30 hours of training is insane. Do you take full recovery days?
I do. They're not very frequent. A full recovery day probably only like once or twice a month. I would do quite a lot of swim only days and then have the rest of the day off.
Yeah. Do you take any full recovery days?
Oh no, definitely not.
I do, yeah. I'm a big fan of recovery, especially as you get older. I prefer to have kind of Monday as a completely off day. As I get fitter, I'll throw in a swim or, an easy something. But coming off Sunday, so Sunday we do that long run and a swim afterwards. So it kind of gives you a day and a half of recovery before you start that next cycle on a Tuesday.
Do you have any full recovery days?
No, I only have one where it's only a swim. Sometimes only a swim other than a swim and a light bike,
right.
But no full day off.
Do you do any stretching?
Yes. Stretching / mobility kind of work, and I try to do every day.
I do mobility. I don't do that much stretching.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that mean yoga or?
Well, there's like bits from yoga, I suppose, but not structured yoga as such. Yeah.
Right. Do you stretch?
A little bit, like if I do a warm-up for a run session, then I'd normally do some stretching, like I'd never do a hard run session without stretching beforehand. But I use like a massage gun and that kind of thing, like before some sessions and after.
I don't do much stretching. I'll do mobility and some active movement, but in terms of just lengthening the muscles for prolonged periods of time, I tend not to do that.
Do you stretch?
Only when I'm injured, and I think it's going to help. It's like panic stretching. No, but no, not on a daily basis, unfortunately.
Right. Whenever pros are doing or not doing something, I think it's pretty significant because their training program has gone through hundreds of iterations, and they've kept the things that benefit them, and they've eliminated all the things that do not have a high return on investment. Do you do any cross training outside of these 3 sports?
There's no time.
Right.
Definitely no time.
Do you do any strength training?
Yeah, like once or twice a week.
Yes, but also a bit in blocks.
Is it like 2 times a week?
2 to 3 times, depending on the time of the year and what is happening.
I strength train at least 2 times a week with our strength coach, Aaron Carson. I think it's really important, especially for guys as we get older. Testosterone is a hard thing to naturally come by as you age, and some short, heavy lifting in the gym can really help naturally boost testosterone, which is a big benefit for all athletes.
Do you have a coach?
Yeah.
And you have a coach?
Yes.
And you have a coach?
Yeah, myself.
Oh, you're self-coach?
Yeah, I do it all myself, yeah.
Oh wow! I thought every pro here is have a coach.
I just wing it, mate.
Oh my God, that's.
I'll make it up as I go along.
Skipper placed 5th in the Ironman World Championships, and he does not have a coach. Are you able to say what's your bike, what shoes you use, and what's your wetsuit?
So I ride a Cervelo P5.
Cervelo bike.
Bike is an Argon bike.
I am on the Trek Speed concept.
So I ride a Cipollini bike.
HOKA shoes.
HOKA run shoes. Like for this, I use like new prototype shoe.
And shoes are HOKA.
And then of course the run I'll be in the HOKA.
So if you're wondering why there's such a big bias towards HOKA shoes, well, it's because HOKA arranged these interviews for me. I'm interviewing the HOKA Pro Triathlete team. So
I swim in a HOKA wetsuit and swim skin.
Culting wetsuits, but they don't make a swim skin.
For the swim skin, I'll use like a DHB, like swim skin or wetsuit.
So for the swim, I'll be in the Aquasphere swim skin.
Wetsuit, either Orca or Blue 70.
Right. Yeah, that's all about gear. So then about nutrition, do you follow any specific diet?
No, I just eat a balanced diet.
I don't eat meat really, but I'm not like too fussy about it. And I like to have fish and eggs and stuff, so I won't call myself vegetarian.
I mean, I don't like stop eating one thing or another, but I'll try to eat like a well-balanced, healthy diet. So I'm not like high fat or anything like that. And I don't try and avoid carbs. Like I try and fuel sessions well with a load of carbs.
I usually stay gluten-free, avoid wheat. I also tend to avoid mammal meat, so if it swims or if it flies, you'll see it on my plate. I drink more wine in the off-season than I do getting ready for Kona, but I do love a glass of red.
I think in endurance sport, when you train 30 hours a week, it's not really about what you eat, it's about how much you eat. Like you have, if you underfuel, that's a lot worse than eating bad foods. Of course, try to get your veggies and fruits and stuff like that, but no special diet.
So you don't count any macros or anything like that?
No. I mean, I have an idea of what I'm eating, but no.
So do you count any macros or calories?
You have to be kind of rationing your time appropriately, and getting that deep into the weeds on rationing calories is not one of the things that makes the cut. So I make sure I eat all that I need, because you got to fuel your training and recovery, and then I supplement for those micronutrients. I think that's where you really do need to pay attention to. So I'm a big fan of Athletic Greens, and that helps me get all those micronutrients, minerals in daily without having to worry about maybe what's in the on the plate.
Can you tell us any of your PRs from like not triathlon, but like 1 mile, 5K, 10K, anything?
I mean, I did a mile when I was doing it in lockdown just for a bit of a challenge at 4:26, but I'd like to get that a bit quicker, go under 4:20, that'd be a good little one. But 15:08 for a 5K, that was during lockdown when we could get on there, but I know I'm in better form than that now. I did a 50K run and I went through the marathon in 2:28, but that was not in a proper race, it was unofficial, and the 50K was like 2:57, but I could definitely go a lot quicker than that if I was in a proper race.
Damn, like I can't even cycle that fast probably.
There's a video on YouTube about that if you want to see it. Yeah.
I've run a 1:15 half marathon, 33-minute 10K.
My 10K PB is like 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't done a 10K race, but I ran 35 high or 35:30.
I think my 5K is back from racing short courses, just a little bit over 15. 32 for the 10K off bike.
Yeah. Did you catch that? 32 for a 10K after the bike and the swim. A decent runner struggles with a sub 40 10K. He ran 10K after swim and bike in 32 minutes. Yeah. And then what would be the one thing you would change in your career, if you could, about your training or nutrition or anything?
I'm super happy with the background I have in golf, but I would have loved to start earlier.
Not really a thing that I could change, but I just wish that I knew what I know now. Maybe if I had like a mentor or someone that could have told me the stuff that I know now, so I didn't have to figure it out, I could have been a lot further ahead than where I am. But
I'm going to say early on in my swimming career, I would have focused on my stroke technique. As you get older, it's harder to get the speed, so you got to do it through efficiency. And efficiency is so important. You can learn that as a kid. So all the young athletes out there, I don't care what sport you're in, listen to your coaches when they want to work on your technique, whether it's running, swimming, cycling, whatever it is, because it'll pay dividends when you get older.
So that's a very good tip.
Maybe patience, like knowing that things take time. So instead of trying to panic in your younger years, like I want results now, I want sponsors, and I want that, just say like, just do the work now, everything will come.
Every mistake you learn from, so it makes you the athlete you are in the race. Like I've come to Kona 4 times, and I've had 2 good races and 2 bad races, and I've learned from the good ones and the bad ones, and that makes me where I am today and the athlete I am today.
What's the worst thing that has happened to you during a triathlon?
oh god, where do I start? Like Vaseline on my goggles so I couldn't see the boys. Like mechanical, like in Wales, like my chain got in a knot and I lost 21 minutes. Punches, had everything.
Yeah, I had in Ironman New Zealand in 2020. I had something with my lower back, and I was an idiot and raced through it. And then when I crossed the finish line, I pretty much blacked out. And the next thing I remember is that 2 female paramedics carry me in my arms, like I was like cooked spaghetti, like I was stood there, and they was just scaring me. So I lay there for like 4 or 5 hours before I could walk. Do not try this at home. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that's like the ultimate limit.
Yeah.
When they take you as a spaghetti from after the race, then yeah, you know you've done your best. Even though maybe you should not have done that.
In March of 2021, I had a heart attack during Challenge Miami, and I finished the race. I got 11th. I was mad I didn't get top 10 because that was the money, but I kept going. Stupidly, yeah. I should definitely learn to listen to your body a little bit more. You know, no one wants to quit, but that by far takes the cake for the worst thing that's happened in a race.
Yeah, but your recovery after that has been very inspiring, and yeah, it's been an inspiration for many people. So, Joe, that's it. I don't have any conclusions because the conclusions are in the video. Go on. Thanks, HOKA, one more time for flying me in here.